Hi. So recently I'm trying to find out what are some of the ways how Archons and other beings can stop us from getting out of body. And recently in one of my videos I've talked about these sort of astral spiders that can literally climb on your face, delete your memories, make sure that you sort of have more nightmares, have like weird thoughts and stuff. There's also octopuses who can, do the whole mind control, affect like, your state of being, or cause headaches and stuff. And recently, in recent out of body experience, I've seen like energy weapons that can affect the body. And going a little bit further back from it, if you are aware of like sort of acupuncture and stuff, like the body has specific points that can cause a vibration that can help you out and stuff. And I believe that if you squeeze the body in the right place, and if you would have enough people working on you, you can basically lay on the table and you have a few of your friends and they're just like touching you in a specific place that either feels good, or the body has a specific like center places that will activate the energy. But basically squeezing you and holding you tighter and stuff for a little while can increase the vibration and sort of push you out of body. So you can just like lay there on the table, people are squeezing you, you focus on that energy feeling, and boom, you're out. So there are specific points on the body where you can do that. It's sort of like, okay, here I am holding this specific dots and stuff, and I'm good. Now entities, knowing that specific thing, how they can sure, we can get out of body, we can activate our stuff, and knowing that they're using their technology to radiate this energy and be very specific. It's like, laser beams. If we talk about, Australia, California, we have these fires and they're just like all over the place, and it's like crazy, hey, we have a whole town, and specific houses are on fire, specific places, but a few trees, and out in the whole huge fire, specific trees are not touched. And it makes you question, direct energy weapons and stuff like that. So, same stuff, and they're very specific. It's basically one ray of light, but they are very specific, very sharp, and they can use that energy basically as you are sleeping throughout the night. They're pushing it, and you get energy like here, it's like bop, 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 and some other places, and I'm basically seeing them. It's like little needles or stuff, and it just goes in one little dot at one little thing, drop at a time, boom, and you're just basically sleeping. But what they do is they keep dropping those, or I don't even know how to say it, but that energy wave is still being directed to you throughout the whole night. And I'm not saying that it happens to everyone, but hey, keep it as a possibility of one of the reasons why you cannot get out, or why you feel a certain way when you get up. They are directing this energy weapon, and this energy affects you, affects your body in specific places. And mainly, they're targeting the places that are more vulnerable in your body. For example, if you have back problems, if you have problems with your lungs, your stomach and stuff, they can monitor us 24/7. They're around us, they see what we what we do, they know what we think, they're inside our body all the time, little entities like nano-size, whatever. You probably even cannot see them, but they're able to pick up what we think, how we feel and stuff. So having those little things scanning us 24/7, they're sending information for their base, like AI and stuff. And now that they've gathered enough information of how you're doing throughout your life, and specific points that trigger you, specific points that cause you to react, and makes you more angry, makes you generate more luge for them. They like the stuff, and they okay, taking notes. Yeah, oh, you have back issues. And they're curious and stuff. So you go to sleep, and they're gonna make sure that they're targeting their energy in the very specific places where you have problems with your health, because that's where you're more vulnerable. And that's if you have the whole energy shield, this basically they're taking this little tool and banging, bang, 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 and it cracks. And now throughout the crack, they can target their energy, and it's basically like a sharp little thing, always stabbing you again and again and again, making you to react, and then you wake up with a pain, my back hurts, stuff. And you might have various reactions. You might wake up with headache, or you might not wake up with any problems. You might wake up, yeah, it's a great day, woo! But what happens is that they make sure that it's not the body that has the effects, it's not the physical body that reacts, but more they're making sure that with all those little stabs that they're giving, you will stay in your physical body. Because you, as a consciousness, you can raise from the body, your physical body is laying, and now you're lifting your arms, and with that, they're making sure that they're directing weapons as if it was like a cross or something, and they're stabbing you, making sure that like you're squished, you cannot get out, like you cannot lift your arms and stuff. So it's one of the ways how they can affect us. Like just I got out of body this morning, and I'm like, oh okay, let's see like. And so basically, it's just the experience I saw, and like how they can use their energy weapons to target very specifically and make sure that we're vulnerable and we stay in our bodies. So these are one of the ways, how they can mess with us. And what I would like basically see, or when I'm doing sort of energy work and healing work on myself, and I can scan my body, and there might be like darker dots, like darker places, like you can have a whole body of light, and there's a darker spot like where more negative energy gathers. They do the same thing, and it's basically like just blending in and making sure that you have more negative stuff all over yourself, and the more negative it gets, it's affecting you. And in the same way, you can have a great life and nothing's like bothering you, but in the same state, this energy is squeezing your astral body, your etheric body, and your physical feels great, and it's like, oh, it's all good, but energetically you are being squeezed. And throughout the time, people get like this and like various shapes with back and spine like stuff, and it's affected in lots of ways. It's not just the spine, but the whole body. A lot of times you can feel like, maybe not a lot of times, but I guess some people can feel like sometimes they're being squished, like something's like squeezing them, and they feel this sort of energetically it's happening. You feel like you might feel like you're super small, like holy cow, I'm sitting here at my PC and everything feels super huge and I'm so little. It's basically energetically they're squeezing the hell out of you, like making sure that you're not feeling anything. And once that happens, it's like okay, I just had a weird feeling, and you're done with it. It doesn't last. You might not think about it much, but what happens in the long term, they're doing it consistently, and consistency builds up to a great result. So once that they've done it for like quite a while, you might go out of body, and they keep doing it again and again and again, and after a week, a few months, or after a few years, you cannot get out of body, because they made sure they can sort of stab you and keep you energetically sort of compromised, that now you're very strictly inside your physical body, and you cannot move because it's sort of trapped by the energy. So that happens. Now, okay, scary story. Okay, what can we do to break free of that? I believe that I myself, okay, yeah, removing agreements, getting out of body, and doing a lot of stuff. A lot of people probably cannot get out of body, or different life and stuff. Raising your vibration, just making sure you have a good lifestyle for yourself. I'm not saying hey, quit eating meat and stuff, and just make sure you're vegan and stuff, and your life is awesome. It's not necessarily even the diet, as much as you living a good enough life to where you're really happy, satisfied, and not reacting to stuff that happens in your life. Because once you're able to break free of your problems and issues and live a carefree life, not to worry too much about whether people think or what will they say, but more you feel good about yourself, you know who you are for real, and nothing can harm you. No matter how much they come at you oh, you're stupid, you cannot do this, and they judge you and they go hard at you. If you know who you are for real, whatever others will say will not harm you, because you know yourself. They haven't been there for 20, 50, 60 years, or however long you lived. They don't know you. They just maybe heard about you, they just saw you, and they're judging the book by its cover. They know nothing about you, and once you know yourself, and if you are okay with yourself, you're good. So, having a good enough lifestyle, raising your vibration, food, if you want to eat better, awesome. If you don't, whatever, take care of yourself. Just make sure you're living a good life and stuff. And another thing, I guess energetically, creating the sort of shield, that also helps. And you can even boost it, not just with vibration, but maybe with even ruble sort of qualities, what kind of shield it is, who cannot pierce through it, because your intention is much stronger than any of their energy guns. So if you put enough no energy weapon can harm this, it's immune to this and that, and you just create rules of what kind of energy shield it's gonna be, and you visualize it, you see it, you feel it, you put it out there, and now once you've created it, basically they can try to harm you, but you can even put a rule of reflection. And now they shoot the beam out, boom, comes back at them, and their spaceship explodes and stuff. So you can do lots of variations and see if it helps. Another thing, emotional freedom tapping. You choose your subject, your problem, not being able to get out of body, feeling squeezed, energetically, whatever your issue might be. You focus on it, and you just tap your specific points, Emotional freedom tapping. Google it. There's like lots of information about it, like 5-minute videos, like little photos with like points of where you need to tap and stuff. Easy to do. It's an everyday thing, but if you are consistent, you will get great results. So here's a little video. Hopefully it's useful. See if you might have experienced those satchel spiders, you might have encountered those sentinel octopuses. Now you know more about these energy weapons that are like beaming at you or might beam at you to keep you inside the body. If you know any other ways how they're trying to trap us inside the body, please write in the comments, because once we are aware of it, they lose their control. It's like a cockroach on the spotlight. They don't want to be seen. And if once you know, it's hard for them to affect you. So that alone, just knowing about this sort of thing, will stop them from, or prevent them from messing with you that much. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you next video, and thank you for tuning in. See you next time. Bye.